board. Okay, so today's lesson is on central angles and the arcs they create. So if I have a central angle, the angle and the arc are the same. So if I told you this is 150 degrees, that means the arc is 150 degrees. If I told you here that this arc was, say, 60 degrees, that tells me the central angle associated with it is 60 degrees. So a very brief summary of this. This is our big idea. We're going to do more with it than just, oh, that's what it is. But that's going to take us where we need to be. The arc created by a central angle is equal to the angle. So if the arc 70 degrees, the angle 70 degrees. If the angle is 82 degrees, the arc is 82 degrees. That's our big idea. Not too bad, right? Now let's look at this in action. What we're going to do is we're going to see a circle and we're going to have to figure out a lot of stuff about it. So there are going to be like a lot of moving parts here. Again, this, if you're having trouble reading this, I am sorry about how it looks. You can hop on the Zoom, you'll probably get a better image of it, or look at the blank notes in Schoology. Again, I will post the completed notes after the lesson. So right away, this is information I need to add on. So it tells me WPX is 28 degrees. WPX, that's 28, so I'm going to put that in there. Thank you very much. You're just on the notes. I know that ZPY, this is 38 in here. And I know that this is a diameter, and this is a diameter. Okay. So the first thing it asks for is just Y to Z. So that arc Y to Z, I have the angle right there is 38, right? So that means this arc is also 38 degrees. Okay, now it asks me for WX. WX is over here. Oh, that's related to this angle right here. So if the angle's 28, the arc is also 28. So those are the easy ones here. Now we're going to have to start looking at things and kind of looking at it as a puzzle. So now we're going to be like, oh, what information do I have to help figure things out? So now the next thing it wants us to know is angle VPZ. So when I look at that, this angle is across from this other angle here that's 28. Angles that are across from each other, those are called vertical angles, and vertical angles are always equal to each other. So when two lines cross, the angles that are across from each other are always equal. So if this is 28, that makes this 28 degrees as well. Okay. Now let's keep it going. Let's go purple with the color. Now it says we're looking at V to W all the way to X. VWX, what do you notice that makes? How much of the circle is that? Half. It's a semicircle. A full circle is how many degrees? Full circle is 360. So half a circle would be 180. Okay. Now I'm going to just erase some of the initial markings. Just to help with the second half here. Okay, now this says I'm looking at angle X, P, Y. We need to be careful here with this. What does this angle look like it is? Looks can be deceiving here. This looks like it should be what? It's looking kind of close to a right angle to me. However, what I notice is if I take this green piece and this blue piece, that's the diameter, right? So all of this has to be 180. So to find this angle, what I'm going to do is 180 minus 28, this angle over here, minus the other angle next to it, 38. So let's go ahead and calculate that. (180 minus 28 minus another 38 degrees gives me 114. So I know that this angle is actually equal to 114 degrees, even though if you looked at it, say, well, it looks like it's 90. I don't trust looks, I trust what the math says. Now, if I know that's 115 or 114, what would we know about the arc that's associated with it? The angle's 114, the arc will be 114 as well. Now here, now it says I'm going X to W, then all the way around to Y. So since a full circle is 360, I'm going to do 360 minus this blue chunk, because the red is the whole circle minus the blue, right? So I'm going to just do minus 114. Yeah, you can put that in the calculator very quickly. 360 minus 114. Whoa, did not type anything. 360 minus 114. And we get 246 degrees. Okay, and then the final thing they want us to find is W to Z to X. Well, that's a semicircle there again, right? So this will be another 180. With these, I'm going to let you know, we're going to look at the fact that like, oh yeah, like a full circle is 360 degrees. We're going to utilize that fact, oh, a semicircle is 180. You know, a lot of these are going to be more putting it together like a puzzle as opposed to following a set of rules every time and go, oh, this is my first set, this is my second set, this is my third. This is going to be more like, hey, explore and discover type thing and try and just get everything filled in. Any questions on how I handled this first example? Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Did I not put another page? I thought I had another page of examples. Let me double check my blank notes. I posted online. Something might have happened there. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, let me just quickly snip this out and add that to the bottom of the page. Again, I'm sorry, this is not the most clear to see on the board. Take snapshot, there we are. But we'll go through this example as well, filling out everything it's asking for. Sorry about the slight delay of having, come on, stop doing this now. Copy. Paste. Sorry, I thought I had already copy and pasted this over here. So here with this, all I know is one angle's a diameter, or sorry, the lines that look like diameters are diameters. And I know that this is 50 degrees right here. And I know that this is a right angle, so that makes that 90. So the first thing I want is HJ. Well, since this is actually a right angle, how many degrees does that make that? 90, so HJ will also be 90 degrees. Now I'm looking at JK. JK is easy. JK, they already told us, was 50 degrees. I was even given information. Now it says, oh, H to K. What do you think we would do with the two angles or the two arcs we already know? The blue is made up of the red and the green, right? So what would we do to find how long the whole thing is? Add them up. You know, 90 plus 50, that's 140. Yes. There's my pass. Okay. Now it says H and K. H to N all the way to K. Well, that's just the other side of this, right? So the blue and the purple would add up to 360. So I can just do for that 360 minus 140. When I do that, $360 minus 140, 220. Now it's asking me for H through N to I. So when I had those three letters, I'm making sure, or not I, to J. So I just make sure I go through all of those. So it goes H to N, all the way to J. Well, that's just going to be 360 minus that 90-degree angle, giving me 270 degrees. I know, good amount there. Let's see here. Now we're looking for, change the color. We'll go with red this time. And it's over here, HJ. And HJ, that's just half the circle. 180. Now it asks for NKJ. Well, NKJ is just the underside of that. So that would be another 180. Okay, now let's go with, it says J to K all the way around to H. Well, we actually already did that right here. It's just a different direction, but it's still going to be 270. Because for number 5, it said H and J. So this one went counterclockwise, this one went clockwise, but the answer's still the same. And then finally, the very last one it's asking for is N to K. N to K is one we have not calculated anything with yet. So let me get that in a very new color that should be fairly readable, like this light green. N to K is right here. I noticed that if I had this section right here, that would create the semicircle. So what I'm going to do is 180 minus this angle here, 50, giving me just 130 degrees. So look, like I said, these aren't going to be like, oh, just do this every time. They're going to be like, oh, try and figure out this every time. You know, you're not going to always take the same steps. You're just trying to logic your way to your answers. So that is what I have for the notes. Let me stop recording.